Hey everyone, this is Alyssa Korm here with John Merline, one of our deputy editors here at Investors Business Daily, breaking down day 2 of the IBD TIPP poll results. So John, we saw pretty similar results from day 1, and we had the election, or not the election, the debate last night, but those, I guess results aren't really impacting the poll yet.
No, that's right. What we saw on day 2 was that Trump held his 1-point lead in our 4-way poll. That's the poll that includes the Libertarian and the Green Party candidates, which is what is going to be on the ballot. So our pollsters very determined that our results should be as reflective of what people will actually see on the ballot, rather than just asking, who do you favor, Trump or Clinton?
Right.
And so, you're still seeing Gary Johnson getting about 8% of the vote and Jill Stein getting about 5% of the vote. And then Trump at 41 and Hillary at 40 in our current poll. And you're right, the debate, the poll results are not reflective of any reaction to the debate. That'll take a few days because what we're doing is a rolling average.
Right.
So we're asking a sample of people every day and then averaging that over 6 days.
Okay, yeah, that's exactly what I was going to ask you. For those who don't exactly know how it works, because there are a lot of people who are right now questioning the accuracy of this poll because it is showing something different than others out there. So what do you have to say to those people?
Well, the only thing I could say is that the poll that we've conducted in the past 3 elections has been the most accurate. The 2012 one, we were actually showing Obama ahead while lots of polls were showing Romney ahead. And believe it or not, we were getting attacked by conservatives at that time who claimed that our poll was way tracking. We were ranked as the most accurate according to the New York Times. So, but there is a margin of error. It's plus or minus 3.6 percentage points. So the fact that it's that close means it's well within the margin of error. And if you look at other polls, they'll have a similar margin of error. So, they're probably closer than people are thinking. But yes, ours is showing Trump ahead of the 4-way race, and no other poll at the moment is showing that.
Right. So when you take a look at that margin of error there, how does that really play into, I guess, the American people's minds there heading forward? It is still early. Yesterday you said there isn't a lot of room for movement, but it is still, we still have about 3 weeks to go.
Right. Well, it's very close. And that's the point that we're showing, is that this race is still quite close. Hillary Clinton has not sealed the deal with the country by any means. Now she's ahead in our 2-way poll, and she is leading in a lot of other polls. But when you look into the numbers, it's pretty interesting. In our survey, independents are leaning towards Trump, not Clinton. Not a majority, but 40-some% to 30-some% on the Trump side, which is very interesting. On the intensity, again, I mentioned this yesterday, but the intensity of support, those who strongly support the candidate they said they want to vote for, Trump is at 70% and Hillary's at about 58%. And also, now, having said that, most people still think that Hillary will win the election, including a quarter of Republicans. So there are a lot of people who are saying that they support Trump but don't figure there are enough other people like them that he'll win. So, I still think that I think it's very close, and I think a lot can happen in the next 2 weeks. I would say Trump is the underdog, even though he's ahead in ours by 1 point. But, and Hillary we're not doing state polls, but in a lot of the battleground state polls, Hillary is doing pretty well. And, frankly, the election is decided based on battleground states, not the ones that are firmly in one camp or another.
Right. Now, since this is a rolling average, tomorrow's results will have maybe 1 day's worth of starting to have kind of this debate reaction. So Is there any way that it could really pull those numbers, or is that still too early?
I really don't think that the debate's going to have a huge impact. It wasn't a knockout by any means on either side. Trump made a very controversial statement when he said he would wait and see what the election results were before deciding whether to accept them, which basically means he was waiting to see if there was fraud involved. And if you recall, Al Gore did the same thing in year 2000, where he wouldn't concede the election because he thought that there were problems with the Florida count.
Right.
And that dragged on for quite a long time. But nevertheless, that generated a lot of very intense reaction in the press and among Democrats who thought that it was an outrageous statement. But Hillary didn't do a great job in this debate either. I think she struggled to explain her policies in several areas. And so, I think it was pretty much a wash. I don't think that it's the sort of thing that would have changed a lot of people's minds necessarily.
Right. Well, thank you so much for your insight. We know you'll be tracking this, of course, in the coming days and weeks. And thank you so much for watching. For more information, you can check out the link in the description to this post. Also, all of our expanded information you can find by just going to investors.com/poll. We'll see you tomorrow.